On this episode, we're going to talk about the best ways to market in a fast-growing community and LeBron James as a Kia spokesman. Hey everybody, what's up and welcome to the 88 Dental Marketing Show. It's the internet's only dental show that's answering marketing's most important questions. Believe that, believe the hype. I am Joshua Scott. That's right, I am your host, Joshua Scott. And this right here is episode number 14, the big 1-4, and it's a hot one. I gotta tell you, hot show today. We are in the middle of the NBA playoffs, and so we're going to be talking about LeBron James a little bit later in the show. Don't want to miss that. Cavs dropped game 1 last night, to Chicago in the second round. Disappointed to see that. Disappointed that Kevin Love is out. I thought we were going to have a good run there. I was thinking they were going to get to the finals, but we'll see. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough road. And, which, by the way, don't know if you watched the first round series with the Spurs and the Clippers. Oh, my goodness. Definitely the best first round game ever in NBA history, but arguably one of the best series of all time. Chris Paul in Game 7 literally played out of his body. It was an amazing game to watch. Turned me into somewhat of a Clippers fan. I think I'm definitely rooting for them through the West. So it's going to be a fun time to watch that. Also, by the way, just got the 88 Dental Marketing Facebook page up. So do me a favor, go over and check that out. Just go to Facebook, search 88 Dental Marketing. Actually, scratch that. Just go down below. I'll put it in the show notes. Put a link there. Go over. We got like 10 people that have liked the page. So I need your help. It's just because we just started talking about it. But I need your help. Go over, like the page. Give me some love there. You'll not only get the show episodes, but you'll get other great resources. All the articles and tips and things we put up there. I think it would be worth it. And, one other announcement. Probably next week, we'll see, but we are launching this show via by podcast. We're turning it into a podcast. So already got it up and submitted on both iTunes for your iOS device and Stitcher for your Android device. They're in the approval process, and so hopefully by next week we will have those ready to go. So that's it for the announcements. Let's get to some questions.
Our first question is from Dr. Tom Lay. My second office is in a new, rapidly growing area of town. What's the best way to market to new neighbors?
Yeah, Dr. Lay, good question. And I'm glad you brought that up. We are actually currently working with a somewhat newer client who's in a very similar situation. They are in one of the top 10 fastest growing counties in the entire country. And so they are right in the middle of this planned development that is projecting like 16,000 homes over the next 10 years. And so there's a little bit of a sense of like all you have to do is market to that community, right? Market to that planned development, because 16,000 homes, you'd probably be busier than you could even imagine with that. But, I think it's a great question because dentistry is still neighborhood based. For as much as things are going digital and as much as we love digital because of the return on the investment and the ease and the targeting and all the things we love about it, man, dentistry is still neighborhood based. And so, I think you have to think through things like your signage. I think signage is probably one of the underutilized, often neglected pieces of marketing in the dental world. we purchase buildings and sign leases without even taking the signage into consideration, or just saying, oh, it's not that big of a deal, that all I have is that little plaque on that medical condo sign. And so, because you're neighborhood based, signage is huge. What people are seeing. If you're in a rapidly growing community that's a planned development, maybe it has a special name or a unique name, I think the name of the practice, like, you got to think through that. I think new mover mailers in the area. If people are moving in rapidly, I think you being one of the first people into their mailbox, and I know that's very analog, but I think that's a good play. Sponsoring community events. I mean, be in the 4th of July parade. I mean, you almost have to go analog with some of this stuff, and you almost have to go old school. But then, I think what would be super interesting is throw some like Facebook advertising in there. Like maybe target the homeowners associations in your area. Like, find those pages, target those people that like those, and run some Facebook ads. Something like that could be super, super interesting. It's not going to have quite the audience, the spread, but to start to see maybe what the return is on that would be a lot of fun. So, yeah, man, great questions. I think those are some things I would look at, but just keep in mind, dentistry is neighborhood based. So people go to a dentist pretty much where they live or where they go to work. So you got to reach people in the day-to-day, the commute, the signage, the events, all that stuff around their homes.
Question number 2 comes from Anna Merrill. How do you comfortably ask people to review your practice?
Sure. Mrs. Smith, it was so good to see you again today. I hope you've had some really great experiences in our practice. If so, I'd love for you to go online and leave us a review.
Question number 3 comes from Jaden Carter. Hey Josh, what do you think about LeBron James being a Kia spokesman?
Jaden, I like it, and here's why. Because LeBron James actually drives a Kia K900. In fact, the rumor was, or the report is, that he purchased the car first, and then Kia approached him about the sponsorship or the endorsement. And so, I like that. It feels more authentic to me. I mean, good job to Kia for jumping on something like that seemed to be more of a good fit. LeBron James, when asked about it, was quoted as saying, "Everything that I do, I want it to be authentic to what I do." And what they're about, they're a pretty cool brand to be with. I'm just excited to do this deal. And so there was a sense of, like, he wanted the car already. He wanted to purchase the car. He likes the car. He's driving around in it. And then Kia approached him and said, hey, if you like this, let's kind of make this official. And so it feels more authentic, which is why I like it, versus like Buick, right? Do you remember these ads with Tiger Woods? And it was just like, it never connected with me, because there was always a sense of, he does not drive a Buick, right? I mean, like, there's no way Tiger Woods is driving a Buick. And it was just interesting because part of his contract with them was he would have to drive it to and from the tournaments that he played in. And, it never really came off believable, okay? So once they moved on from Tiger Woods, and then they hired this guy, Shaq, as their next spokesman. And again, it's just such interesting choices in sports figures. Because, again, it's like, we all know, like, come on, seriously? Shaquille O'Neal does not drive a Buick. Like, the boy can't even fit in a Buick, which is their whole ad. It's their whole commercial. But it's like, he cannot fit in that car. He can't do it. And so there's a sense of, like, it's not believable. It's not authentic. And, what I like about LeBron is we're seeing posts on social media. There's reports of people seeing him driving it around northeastern Ohio. He drives it to and from the games. Probably some of it's a play, just moving back to northeastern Ohio and just connecting with his fan base there again. I get that. I like that. Does he still have 20 other cars in his garage? Yeah, I'm sure he does. He's not driving the K900 exclusively, but it's part of his collection, and it seems that he likes it, and so it's believable. And so, props to Kia for jumping on that, and props to them for, the automotive industry, to break into that is no easy task. And it hasn't been overnight by any means. This has been a decade or more of Kia just making some big moves, spending a lot of money. A lot of money. They've been the official car of the NBA for the past 7 years. That's cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. But now they're in a space. This year, I've kind of liked where they're at with Blake Griffin and LeBron James and the Kia Optima and the K900. I feel like they're in a good space. I feel like they've won enough respect, and that they're getting a lot of attention, and they're becoming, their cars are in the mix now with people making buying decisions. What once was a little Korean car company that probably wasn't going to last more than a few years has now become a legit, respectable car company. But it wasn't easy, and it took a long time, and they had to spend a lot of money. And so, props to Kia. I like it. Jaden, good question. Thanks for bringing some NBA to the show. I love it. Guys, that's episode 14. It was a good one. I told you. Hey, homework. Number 1, what neighborhoods should you be marketing to? And number 2, if you could do your signage all over again, what would you do? Guys, I appreciate you watching and hanging around. I will see you on the next episode.